guys. Okay, so very random story I have to tell you all. So I've made a few goals for like fun things I want to randomly do. One of them was I really wanted to go viral just one time for being funny. Just once, for making someone giggle. You know what I mean? I post up on TikTok a random video. I would recommend you to go on said social media platform and so you can see it for yourself. Now, it's a little bit inappropriate, but it's very funny, so it's okay. I went into the gym and some people I know at the front desk were joking about how they saw it. And other people I'm not very familiar with even saw it at the gym. So just a heads up, if you post up something funny, but everyone's gonna see it. Hi everyone, it's Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, in all seriousness though, we are gonna be getting into a serious topic. We're finally gonna be diving into the alleged most hated TikTok mom. We're talking about Nurse Hannah. So if you don't know who Nurse Hannah is a 26-year-old long-term care nurse. It looks like she's kind of a traveling nurse right now. And she is a mom/mommy content creator. Now, if you guys are new here, I have a very strong feeling about mommy content creators or family vloggers because the exploitation of children, in my opinion, is incredibly unethical. Big trigger warning, we have child abuse allegations. And one further disclaimer I wanted to make is in my videos, most of the time, if there's kids, I blur them. For the purpose of this video, to show the reaction due to the fact I think the physical reactions are significant. That's the only reason why, so just keep that in mind. That's it. We are going to be diving into today's video, so buckle up, grab a snack, get ready because we have lots to discuss. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel where we have a bunch of other fun content on there if you guys want to hang out with me a little bit more. And yeah, let's hop in. Real quickly though, I do want to stop and take the moment to talk about the shirt that I'm wearing and the sponsor of today's video. Let's talk about Classy. So I know in 2025, everyone wants to be comfortable. You all want to be comfortable, you all want to look cute, and I know so many of us that do not want to wear a bra, okay? And if you are one of those people, I'd love to quickly point out that the shirt that I'm wearing right now, I don't have a bra on at all. Why? Because this shirt actually has built-in support, so that way I don't actually have to wear one. And that's why we're going to be talking about Classy. So Classy actually has built-in bras inside of all their pieces, so that way you can go bra-less. Classy offers the perfect two-in-one. Instead of being absolutely exhausted after wearing a bra all day, you're able to get coverage and support from Classy's pieces. They offer tank tops, long sleeve, short sleeve. There are so many options that Classy has to offer to you. Classy is completely changing the game when it comes to everyday basics, and I would love to tell you a few of my everyday basics that I have been absolutely loving. So currently I'm wearing a long sleeve crew neck and it is gorgeous. It has amazing support. It's incredibly stretchy. I've gotten into a habit of just sleeping in these. The fabric is amazing quality. It's thick. It looks so good. And when I tell you this is great for going out, this is great for just hanging out in the office. I also have this top in a gray shade, which the gray is beautiful. And then of course, I think everyone loves a basic black long sleeve top. That was also another one that I grabbed. I had to quickly go and throw on this chunky high neck ribbed top. Oh my gosh, this is another one that is just so adorable. It looks really good. It fits nice. Again, you guys like the material. Incredibly stretchy. Classy is completely customizable. They have a really amazing support system built in underneath, and you can customize it according to what you're kind of wanting. So if you want to keep the padding in, if you want to take it out, they make it very size inclusive and supportive for all people. So if you guys want to try out Classy and grab a new basic piece or basics, you guys can go with the link in the description below or pin comment or scan the QR code today and use the code CLASSY958 to get 20% off of your first order today. Classy is such a brilliant idea. I swear I recommend these all to my friends and family. Thank you so much to Classy for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get into it. So like I said, let's give a mini introduction before we hop into the madness of Nurse Hannah. Nurse Hannah, like we said, 26-year-old. She is a mommy content creator, and she kind of blew up on social media. How some of this controversy did kick off was she was known as the 17 diapers mom. So if you guys don't know, it was like a viral situation that happened where Hannah was pretty much filming herself picking up diapers that were just scattered throughout the house. I will play the clip, and I will let you guys kind of decide.
Pick up all the dirty diapers I have lying around my house right now. I kid you not, my guess is probably 15. I don't own a diaper pail or a diaper genie or whatever they're called. They just kind of get thrown around my house and then we just collect them in a bag at the end of the day and take them out to the dumpster. So I've been solo parenting for the last 24 hours, so we're gonna see how many dirty diapers we have just lying around with 2 kids. I promise you, I'm not even exaggerating, this has only been 24 hours. So I'm counting just 4 diapers right here on the coffee table. Found another one right behind the couch. Oh, found 2 more. So far that's what? 7 diapers, I'm pretty sure. That's just down here, like in the kitchen living room area. Let's go upstairs. I already know this is gonna be so bad. Okay, so right away I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 diapers. So that's 8, 9, 10 diapers. And then into the bedroom. This is the corner of what my side of the bed looks like at night. It's embarrassing, I know. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think if I counted right, that's 17 diapers lying around my house.
My first instinct is like, well, what the why would you leave like 17 diapers around? I'm assuming a kid can get into that. Like, that's like a mess waiting to happen. But then I was like, oh, well, there's a lot of back and forth in this conversation. You know, there's people supporting this. There's people saying like it's wrong. And then I'm like, not a mom. So maybe I'm not understanding something. Shit, maybe I'm like totally missing something. So if I have any mothers or parents in the comments section, I would love for you to share your thought process on that. My first thought is like, if I'm a mom, I'm going to live by a damn trash can or have a little cheap one from the dollar store if I needed to and just throw shit in there. The idea of having dirty diapers laying around and that many laying around on the floor kind of sounds like crazy to me. But again, that's just me. That was kind of a big way that Hannah got some traction in the social media world, was because she blew up from that. She was getting some traction. So therefore she was kind of utilizing the opportunity, I would say, to post up more content and utilize her newfound platform. Except for a lot of controversies happened with that. And the biggest one that really made people just, I think, turn completely against her was this clip that we're talking about now, which is the alleged child abuse that we're kind of kicking into. So again, this is an unblurred clip. It is a currently deleted video, but I did want to kind of show this because in one of the vlogs, Hannah is taking her son, a toddler, out with grocery shopping. Her husband's there, and that's kind of what they're doing. But in this clip, the child flinches incredibly hard. So let me play the clip and then let's talk about it more. I think it's also a different reaction when you're going out of your way to protect your face. Something's happened too much, in my opinion, for you to have that as such a quick instinctual reaction. And a lot of people thought the same exact thing too. The comments were flooded with people like saying, what the hell's going on? Is your husband hitting your child? And it pretty much blew up. And then it kind of led to a further conversation discussing the other content that Hannah's been posting. The more I dug into this topic and all of it in general, like, I was disgusted by this, to say the least. I want to quickly show the response that Hannah actually made, because she made a response video after all the controversy was happening. And I want to show you this first because I think it adds to my arguments and points that I'm going to make of why I personally think that she's completely full of shit. Let me roll the clip on that and then let's keep talking.
So the fact that I even have to address this right now is kind of insane. Social media is just, it's a scary place. And I never understood people that much when they said they couldn't share their kids' faces online or they couldn't share much about their kids. I didn't really understand it. But it's crazy. If you were to know me in real life, this whole lazy husband thing, it's satire. My husband is the sweetest, nicest, kindest, most loving, most nurturing father in the entire world. He is playing on the ground with James like 90% of the day. If that man is not laughing, having fun, teasing him, playing with him, whatever it is, then I don't know, then something's wrong, because those two have the strongest bond, the strongest father-son bond that I know of anyone else. And it makes me really sad that social media has turned it into something, or me, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe that's, it makes me sad that I guess I've turned it into something like that. I don't know. In the video that you guys are all freaking out about, they're just playing. They're always playing. They're always playing where they scare each other. James is obsessed with dinosaurs and bears, and when they look away and they come back and they scare each other, and they play, like when they throw something, they'll play throw it, you know, when you like psych them out, you know, when they flinch and whatever. Like that's what they're always doing. They're always like hiding behind couches and jumping at each other and chasing each other around the house and up the stairs and down the stairs and tackling each other. They're always playing constantly, to the point where like if I'm trying to talk to my husband, I can't, because he's always playing with my son. Nothing's going on. From the moment that my husband wakes up in the morning to the second he goes to bed, he is only thinking about our children and our family and what's best for us. And that's never not on his mind. He is constantly thinking about his children, their futures, what it's like now, how to be the best father. You can't believe everything you see on social media. You just can't. I promise, and when I promise this, I'm serious. Nothing is going on. You know, I don't really Oh, when you want an explanation, I could just be like everybody else, and when stuff like this happens, I could just keep quiet, and I thought about keeping quiet, just kind of letting it blow over, but I thought I don't want that. I don't even want the thought of that out there, that I don't want anyone to suspect anything, that even to be questioned whatsoever, that me or my husband, that we do not love our children, that we do not treat them with anything other than love. Like, it's crazy. There's nothing going on.
So a couple things we need to know and pre-establish before we get into the big gist of this video. One, she says that her husband is great and amazing, and anything she says about him is just satire, right? Anything negative about him is just a bunch of bullshit. I don't believe that in the slightest, and I will show that here with some content later. Second of all, that her child is taken care of, they're the best, like everything is okay. That's a kind of a few things that I want to talk about, is why I think her response is very contradictory to some of the content she's been posting for months on end. So let's start off with one of the first things that I was finding out while digging into Hannah. So the first clip I want to show you is her son falling out of a chair while she's filming a vlog. Now, I want to make this very, very clear that accidents happen, kids fall, you need to make sure that they are safe with whatever you're doing. Accidents happen, but there's a difference between being neglectful and not paying attention for content versus a whoopsie.
This right here doesn't say struggle bus this morning. I don't know what will. You know, I was rushing this morning to go get my hair done, and I was trying to be a nice mom and make pancakes, and you know what? It just ended up with James falling off the chair. I mean, he was fine afterwards, but he did just cry and sob for a good chunk of time after that. Something that I didn't really have time for today. But yes, I am getting my hair done today, and I have not gotten my hair done in years. You know, my husband always talks about, like, what would you look like blonde? Because I have, like, black hair. I've gotten highlights before or a little balayage, but I've never done anything, like, really drastic. But I'm thinking today we're gonna go drastic. Getting your hair done nowadays is just so expensive.
So if we actually slow it down, I'm going to show it to the side of me over here. It kind of looks like Hannah moved the chair and then the kid fell out. This whole situation pissed me off because, one, like I said, there's a difference between filming content and making sure you're taking care of your child. And then there's also the difference between moving a chair and not being cautious that a said child is moving on the chair. If I were to picture moving a chair with a kid on it, I'm going to make sure the kid holds onto my arm and I have security around them, and then we scoot it. Or if it's going to be too far of a move, I am removing the child off the chair and scooting the chair over, putting kiddo back on. It's literally not that hard. Why do you look so upset and offended that your child fell due to your own actions, is what it appears to me. If something happens and it's an accident, I would assume a natural instinct would go, oh my God, are you okay? And give them a hug or do something that would make them feel comfortable and better, because accidents happen. But after watching the Ruby Frankie situation, I would not be surprised in the slightest if some content creators would do anything to evoke a reaction or create a situation that doesn't exist to make relatable content for other people on social media. And another example of this that I want to show is the waffle oven that is completely open on the counter. I want to roll the clip and let's talk about it.
Well, good morning to everybody except for James, who felt the need to just full on touch the waffle iron this morning. Why would you touch that? Come here. Lately, we are just 100% in the stage of he has to learn the hard way, unfortunately.
I want to say, again, if you don't know kids, I don't know everything about kids, but I have a little bit of common sense. Toddlers, children are going to stick their hands up and touch things, okay? They're learning, they're figuring it out. It's your job to be proactive. That's why people will put covers on outlets so kids don't stick their fingers in it. That's why there's baby proofing, because things happen. They're still developing and trying to understand stuff. So my first thought is, why in the fuck do you conveniently catch us on camera all the time? That's what I want to know. Why is there a lack of comforting your child when they grabbed a waffle iron? Why is your focus on looking at the camera annoyed instead of immediately reacting to, are you okay? Why is this on camera? Why is this funny? I think if anyone accidentally let their kid grab onto something like that, I would assume the normal parent response would be humiliated and devastated. Like, truly. I accidentally stepped on my fur baby's toe one time. I was in tears the first time I did it, by the way. I can't even comprehend posting this on social media and finding this any form of entertainment or content for TikTok. Now, the next controversy is food and allegedly not feeding her children. So this is another problem that I am noticing that people are calling out on social media that I also personally found to be absolutely disgusting, is I was seeing different clips being compiled and showing Hannah pretty much talking about like not feeding her kids proper meals. I'm just telling you right now, I don't think any normal adult or human being wants to go to sleep hungry. So why would that be a normal thing something for your child.
Still freaking slapped. James was asking for a bite, and I said, we're in the new car. I'm not giving you a whole sub sandwich, but you can have a bite of my bread. That's what you can have. And then I'll feed you something else when we get home. But no, these sandwiches are for mom and dad. Seriously, something about Jersey Mike's is probably one of my biggest pregnancy cravings, but it's so freaking expensive I never actually go. I could have downed this whole sandwich, but unfortunately I had to share with my husband. I can't do that. Now, the next way that we save a lot of money while we eat out is we don't order drink. We don't drink alcohol. We're not ordering sodas. We literally, when they come to get our drink order, we are only 100% of the time. If we have leftovers, we are bringing it home. I see so many people stand up from their table and leave half of their food there, and then it just gets thrown away. If I'm paying for that food, it's coming home with me if I didn't eat it. So anyways, that's how you eat cheap on vacation. Always making sure your hotel has a breakfast. Always doing research on restaurants before you actually get there on prices. Not blowing a ton of money on drinks and appetizers. And we're taking our toddler to the park today for over 2 hours. We deserved a sweet treat. And that sweet treat was this most delicious raspberry sweet bun. This thing was so freaking good. And the best part is that James, my toddler, was watching a show on my phone in the back seat, and he didn't even notice, and he didn't even ask for it. But I did feel bad, so I did give him a tiny little piece. Because honestly, this will probably be his lunch because it's already past nap time. So when we go home, we're going straight to bed. Mama doesn't mess around with nap time. We are not missing nap time around here.
Now, this is all posted for public, for everyone to see. So I can only imagine what's going on behind scenes, because how do you find this funny? How do you find this entertaining? How do you find this normal to post up about your child? You should make sure that your child is fed, taken care of, and you're not rushing them with meals. This is a plethora of issues waiting to happen as they develop and grow up. And like, mind you, this toddler is not their only child. They have a new baby, actually, and I don't know how old the baby is, like maybe a few months old now, but where some of this content was taken, like she was pregnant or had a newborn. This is such a sad reality for these kids. Now, you guys, if you're pissed now, you're gonna get even worse, because the next thing we're gonna talk about is a clip that we actually found where Hannah's discussing the fact that she wouldn't want to change a diaper if the child peed in it.
I mean, I have a million of these, but not least for this video, I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that. Do you know how expensive diapers are? I have friends and people that I know that like, oh, they peed, we have to change their diaper. And I'm like, they peed? Literally, I will change his diaper if he poops.
So I'm going to tell you right now, a little fun fact if you guys don't know. When it comes to daycares, there are certain requirements from the state that are going to have to be abided by. And I'm going to pop up a screenshot pop up over here just in regard to like Kansas. Kansas has a requirement where you have to change their kid's diaper a certain amount of times. That's just a bare minimum requirement. You can't just let them sit in their own urine. And you know what actually freaks me out is the fact that she's a long-term care nurse, but thinks it's okay to do that to her kids. I'm sorry, but I'm going to put the speculation out there. It makes me wonder how well she's taking care of her patients. Diaper rashes happen. You can do the best that you can do. And I know diapers are incredibly expensive, but also that's what you experience when you have a child, is you have to take care of said child. There are different options out there if you want to do cloth diapers. Like there's options out there. So I do not believe this excuse of I'm going to let my kid sit in a soaked wet diaper, because diapers can only hold so much. And you know, I agree that diapers are really expensive, but you know what also is expensive? Your husband dropping $1,500 on hunting gear. Or another thing is, how is it that we don't have enough money for diapers, or that's a problem, but we have enough money to put and install a soda machine into our house?
Why I'm not buying him anything? Well, you probably already know. It's because he spent $1,500 on hunting gear. And the second he told me how much he spent, I said, happy birthday, because I'm not buying you anything after that. I pay 10% of all of my money to the Mormon church every single month. Let me tell you why. Now, I've mentioned this in the past, and there seems to be some confusion. A lot of people just don't seem to understand why you would pay 10% to a church. It's not like the Mormon church is lacking in the money department. I'm not donating to the pastor or the bishop or the leaders of the church. That's what a lot of people have told me.
And this other clip where she will pay 10% of her income to the Mormon church, but diapers are too expensive. Now, if I was a mother and I had to choose between doing fun things for myself or making sure that my children had the basic needs met, like a clean diaper, you bet your ass I would lose anything fun in life to make damn sure that my child was taken care of. I most certainly wouldn't spend money on a soda machine. I most certainly wouldn't be spending money on getting my hair done. I wouldn't be doing anything until my basic needs of my children were met. That is not up for debate. When you have a child that is dependent on you, you are supposed to do the best that you can. And like, by the way, this is not in any way to say that mothers or parents don't deserve nice things and deserve to do good things for themselves. They do. They absolutely deserve it. But if we're going to come down to, diapers that are beneficial for my child versus something that fucking soda machine. That's so unnecessary. You have your priorities skewed severely if you think that that is something more significant over making sure you have clean diapers on your children. And another thing I saw that personally rubbed me wrong is like locking her child in the bedroom during nap time. She apparently like locked her son in his bedroom while he was taking a nap. And I mean, maybe there's a baby monitor there. I'm not really too sure, but either way, for me, I just think that sounds like very, very stressful and not the vibe for me personally to like lock a kid in a bedroom. What if they need you? What if something's up? To me, that sounds very freaky. Closing a door makes sense, but locking a child in doesn't make any bit of damn sense with the content that I have been seeing recently throughout this entire video. But it makes me wonder if she just doesn't want to be bothered during nap times, considering she wanted to give him a piece of bread for lunch and make him go to bed because she didn't want to skip nap time. It makes me wonder if she's so strict on it, she doesn't want the kid coming out and bothering her whatsoever. I don't like the idea of locking your kid in the bedroom. Something feels wrong with that, and I'm just going to stick to that perspective. Now, the next thing that's going to make you even more pissed is more conversations about money and taking care of your child. So I'm actually Kansas right now. For me, I'm expecting to get hit with like 6 to 10 inches of snow. It is cold as shit out. Bad temperatures, right? If it's wintertime, it's very cold. It's not good. So you need to bundle up your babies because no shit, I really don't know how else to rationalize that. You just need to take care of your kiddos and make sure they're warmed up. I would love to show you this clip where she's talking about how a coat for her son is expensive. I had to piece this together because it was hard to kind of find like the full clip of this. Her talking about not wanting to buy a coat for her kid.
So it's currently 22 degrees outside, but it feels like 8 degrees. And we're venturing out of the house with 2 kids because I am stupid. This is how cold the car is. This is literally, it turned winter in like 0.2 days and this kid doesn't have a big jacket. So I need to find him a big jacket. What, your shoes coming off? I'm sorry, but I can't spend $35 on a toddler jacket. I know he needs one.
You obviously live in a place where it gets cold. Yes, your child needs a toddler jacket. Get him one. Get him a little bit big so he can actually use it for possibly the next season. If you dad don't have it, give him 2 hoodies, but cover his head. Notice I keep saying that. Pull the hood up, cover his head. Obviously, you have money because you've gone over your budget before to spend $35 on a kid's jacket. So, man.
If you're spending money on a bunch of stupid shit, I don't know how you're bitching about getting a coat for your child. Second of all, I would love to say that the amount of videos that I found kind of in this time frame of them like going out to eat and buy a bunch of food, I thought was kind of crazy because like for me personally, I think I do pretty damn well. I do not eat out most of the time. Like I will maybe once a month eat out because I'm just personally strict. I'm trying to pay off student loans, y'all. Like I'm really, really locking in here. But either way, I can't comprehend wanting to spend money going and eat out if it's pretty expensive and not make damn sure again, that my child had a coat and was taken care of. How is this funny? And also, why is this on social media? How is this entertaining to you? How is this something of like, I'm so proud of this? I do not believe this one is struggling, okay? She was dumping money into tithing for churches, which I think if you don't have money for taking care of your toddler, you should not be fucking paying to a church. But 2, if she's doing good on social media and if she's getting a decent amount of views and whatnot, there should be a little extra money that she's making bare minimum. Previously, with the kind of views that she was pulling in, I would assume she pulled in like a decent amount. At least I would guesstimate like at least a few thousand more a month. So it's not just her and her husband's paycheck. There would be social media on top of that. So by that perspective, you should definitely have money for your child to have a jacket. I'm just so blown away because I don't know how this kind of content is perceived as positive. And one thing I want to mention is why is it that there is like no consideration for the kids getting older and seeing this kind of stuff online later? And this is a question that I have for any like mommy influencers or just like family vloggers in general. Do you think if your child sees this when they are 13, 18, 25, if they sit and watch this content, are they going to go, wow, mom loved me so much and valued my privacy. Mom protected me. Mom took this shit seriously. Or are they going to go, wow, mom was mocking my needs. I think some of these like family vloggers or content creators are desperate for relatability so badly that there's no limit. There's no break. Don't get me wrong. There's not really a lot of TMI that I perceive on my social media. Like I'll say whatever. I'll talk with you guys. That's me though. But there's certain things I would never post up. Even if I have a partner, I would double check and make damn sure they felt comfortable. And even some things you guys will never know because I just don't, like, this is my job. I wouldn't want certain things on social media. Certain things when it comes to my kids, no one will ever know or see because I want to make sure that they are safe and protected, right? There's certain things that I'm never going to do. There's not a limit when it comes to things like, in my opinion, Hannah, it's like whatever I can post, I'm going to post. And that just pisses me off to the max. There needs to be a limit. And if anything, even if there's not a law or something preventing you from doing this, you should have the mental goal of being the best parent you can be by protecting your children in whatever way that looks like. And last clip I want to show you guys that really pissed me off is talking about convenience. And this is of her apparently saying that it's convenient that her child has a fever when they're traveling all day at the airport because he's not running around. Nothing says, I love you, son, like saying, it's really convenient my kid is sick because they don't bother me as much.
Flying and traveling with a toddler in general is so freaking difficult. When your toddler is sick with a fever, it's a whole other story. I would never say that I was grateful that James had a fever today, but honestly, it made the day a little bit easier because he wasn't running around and hyper. We have a 15-hour travel day ahead of us, flying home from North Carolina, home to Salt Lake City. It's like 12 plus freaking hours because we're flying Spirit, and it's a nightmare and a disaster. I tried so hard to keep James awake, but we just couldn't fight it any longer. That kid was about ready to fall asleep while standing.
I'm telling y'all right now, if you've been sick in an airport, you know how brutal it is. I actually vividly remember there was one time years ago, I was stuck in the Denver airport overnight. I had a raging cold. It is brutal. I don't know why this is funny. I don't know why this is content. I don't even remotely know how you could verbalize this on social media and think that this is fine. You're 26. You are 2 years older than me. You're not too young to comprehend that this is wrong. You should have a level of common sense to know that this is not okay to do, and not everything should be posted on social media. The next thing I want to talk about that I don't think a lot of people are highlighting as much as I think they should is the weaponized incompetence with a husband, and I think the husband is a big problem when it comes to all of this. So quickly, I want to talk about weaponized incompetence. That's pretty much like the best way I could describe it is, let's say you ask me to do the dishes and we're roommates. I do the dishes so poorly. I am making it a mess, and I am weaponizing my incompetence. Like, well, I can't do it, to where you just do it because you don't want to have to ask me again to fix it and whatnot. Weaponized incompetence is a thing that just happens and is actually a very prevalent issue when it comes to marriages and partners. It's really shitty. It's unfortunate. I would never wish that on anyone. That's not something anyone should have to experience. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because in the original response she made about the alleged abuse, she was saying how her husband's amazing and this is all satire. But all these clips I'm going to show you right now do not remotely feel like satire. Take, for example, how there's some clips where she will talk about how she can't spend a certain amount of money or they're trying to save, but meanwhile, he's going on spending money on hunting gear. That's fucking crazy. In this clip over here that I'm going to show you guys, she is also discussing how her husband went to go grocery shopping, and he went to go grocery shopping and got things that weren't exactly what they needed and were all over the place. So she had to, quote, get creative to make it work. I'm sorry. I will never be okay with anyone saying that this is normal. You are a grown fucking adult, act like it. You are also a parent, act like it. That one partner should not know everything about their kids, should not be doing everything for the kids, and should not be the one that is the parent of everyone, including their spouse. This is weaponized incompetence.
My husband did the grocery shopping today and said that he spent over $150, which is way more than we usually spend. So let's go through it and see what he actually bought. I offered to make a list for him and actually prep our dinners for this week, but he said, no, babe, I got this. Let me do it for you. Like, you don't have to worry at all. Let me do the grocery shopping. You can just sit back and relax, which is so nice of him. But when it comes to making dinner this week, it might be a little bit challenging when I realize we have no actual, like, food for meals, like things that go together, you know? I was impressed that he did buy fruits and vegetables. Well, I guess the vegetables that he bought were canned jalapenos. You know, but he did buy some fruits and some good protein. He did buy like a 10-pounder thing of ground beef. So I think we're going to be stocked on ground beef for like the rest of my life. Typically, I like to spend anywhere from like 50 to max like $80, $90 on groceries every week. Like that's even pushing it a little bit. But he did spend $150, which, you know, in his defense, we didn't have any food because we've been Airbnb our house. And we do have his teenage brother living with us for the next few weeks. So stick around if you're interested and curious as to what I'm going to piece together.
And again, just a couple other clips to really wrap this shit up.
I am fed up with my lazy freaking husband. He asked me what's for dinner and I said nothing. You're getting nothing. I'm not cooking anything. Today I was overstimulated to the freaking max. I was working. I had so many million things going going on, and then he says, "What's for dinner?" Are you freaking kidding me? I think the man sensed that I was a little bit bothered by that statement. So he got up and threw some frozen burritos in the air fryer, and we're eating dinner tonight together at like 10 o'clock at night. Does anyone else's man do this? They just walk in and they say, "What's for dinner?" Like, excuse me, does it look like I'm cooking anything? The kitchen is cleaned, it's put away. I'm not cooking anything for the rest of the night. If you're hungry, you better go out and get fast food, or you better get in the kitchen and make yourself something, because the kitchen is closed. Also, does anyone else's husband drink from the milk gallon like this? I honestly never drink milk, but my husband straight up will just like take the milk gallon to his mouth and just chug it. But also, that's just the family he grew up in. All of his siblings, his parents, everyone is sharing the same milk gallon. Like, there's like 7 people in his household all putting their mouth to the same exact gallon. Which, if you ask me, it's kind of freaking gross, but also I just don't like milk anyways. But sharing your lips to the same gallon with everybody else? No. So I just got off of a 12-hour shift, and my husband told me to stop at the store to get ingredients to cook dinner tonight. No, that's not happening. I'm not cooking dinner tonight. I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired.
I'm sorry, but in my opinion, it doesn't give the vibe that this guy actively is participating in everyday basic needs. Because here's my thing. Either one, he is a piece of shit and you're sharing that and you are lying that he's actually a good person. Or 2, you are sharing this and this is all a skit. But my thing is, why would you not want to show up that he's a good spouse? That's why I don't believe this. Because if you have an amazing spouse that's an active partner, why wouldn't you want to talk about that? Why wouldn't you want to like say, "Oh my God, talk about your interaction as a healthy couple"? I don't believe you whatsoever. And why I think this is all tied in together is because this weaponized incompetence that I think her husband is participating in, I do think is also another aspect of why I don't think these kids are actually getting what they need. And it's just a really shitty mix. While I do think that Hannah is doing a lot of things incredibly wrong and unethical, I also do see another side where she's probably not getting the actual support and active partner that she does need when it comes to being an active parent. And I just think all of this stuff is continuously feeding off of each other and creating a big issue. So yeah, I do think her husband needs to be dragged for this because he has just as much of a responsibility to make sure that their kids are taken care of, and also, you know, checking her, maybe saying, "Hey, don't post this on social media," because there are problems with both parties. And I just want to make this incredibly clear for all viewers. Having a partner like this is not normal. That is not, it's not funny. It's not okay. Joking that you have like a husband or a partner that's not active, that is helping, that is babysitting the baby. No, they're doing their job because that's what they're supposed to do. Otherwise, I'm sorry, but what's the point in having a husband then if they're not going to be an active, loving, good partner? If you're technically then just being a single parent or partner then, and you would much rather not be with that person. Like, that is not normal. You shouldn't have to beg someone to do basic human things, normal everyday living. You shouldn't have to beg someone to be doing the grocery list, actually taking care of dinner too. Like, this should be an equal thing. I know it's going to be very different and depending according to certain jobs that everyone has. Just please know that if you're dealing with someone like this, you deserve better. End of story. All this content that I showed you was completely contradictory of her original statement about how amazing and supportive and active her husband is. I do not believe that in the slightest, because if you had that much of a great partner, why would you be posting as if they're the biggest loser on the planet? I think maybe, just maybe, he is a ass loser. I know with all this controversy and a lot of people airing this stuff out, she kind of became a little bit more MIA on social media. There was allegedly an investigation by CPS into her. I don't really know if there was any big conclusion on that, but all I gotta say is she's been incredibly quiet on social media. And even now, when it comes to certain vlogs and whatnot, things are really quiet. I don't see much showing her husband. Maybe she is progressing in that way, but either way, this still just shows how much shit is going on with some of these content creators and why I am so tired of these family influencers. This is not normal. This is so fucking dangerous and so scary to me. I can't even imagine how some of these kids are going to feel years down the road. This is just so scary. And this is also why I don't think mommy content creator should be a thing. I don't. There's a difference between being a mother and a content creator and being a mommy content creator. One is going to overly exploit and show their kids way too much. The other one simply has children, but that's not her only thing that she's showing and talking about. And she's protective of her children and not exploiting their personal experiences and bad things for money and views. I am so tired of people supporting these mommy influencers. I'm sick of it. I'm sorry, but I don't know how people don't get physically nauseous and sad for these poor babies. Comment down below what you guys thought, if there's anything that you think we could do further about this to talk about it more. I know that this just makes me so sad because I know there are other kids that are part of content creator families who are just getting the worst treatment in my opinion, and it makes me so sad. Kids deserve better. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out the sponsor of today's video, Classy, and the link in the description below and pinned comment. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.